SaaS architecture, another area of concern. If the architecture is not good, how do you handle things well? So we need to talk about it. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you regularly see new content on privacy. And as I said, SaaS architecture has to be good. And we are going to talk about how good the SaaS architecture is to be to ensure that privacy is met, logs are retained, retention policies and deletions are handled carefully. So is it really matter? It does. Why? If the architecture itself is not good, how do you handle the applications? Now, the problem is not merely running an application, collecting data, performing analytics. Now, the issue is, have you taken care of the personal information stored in those applications, those databases? And that is what is important for you to handle. So, if the design is not good, failures can happen at design level itself. Even if you don't intend to be bad, it goes bad, right? So, it's not that because you don't intend to do the good work becomes bad because you didn't do the way it was expected to be. The defaults matter more than the policies, right? The default settings come up because you think they are what you've been used to doing that way. But now you need to have policies. Policies here are talking about privacy on one side, but the privacy apart from just the personal information, because there is personal information, privacy is talking of maintaining logs, of ensuring that retention period is maintained, of ensuring that deletion is done safely. So you cannot no more rely only on defaults. You need to imbibe, or what we call privacy by design, into your architecture. Architecture decides the compliance at scale. High risk SaaS data areas. Application logs, there are analytics, support tickets are there, session recordings are there, which is important. Backups are taken, replicas are created. There are admin logs and there are audit logs in the system, and you need to be careful with all of these when you are working on them. So, what are the problems with log retentions? Logs are generally stored with the idea just in case we need logs. So, the mindset has to change. See, there are many things that are done not with the idea of compliance, but just in case types. The idea is that you need to change your mindset so that you be very careful about how you are handling the data, or more careful than what you are right now. For example, there is no defined retention. And I see many organizations where you'll suddenly find lack of space and start deleting things. So if that data was not required, why was it there at the first place? And if that data was there at the first place, what prompts a decision in a few seconds to delete it with no required approvals, right? Personal data is there inside the logs, and the logs are copied across environments. And there's a big problem that happens in all ITs, and I have a whole series of videos on this earlier, which is called shadow IT. These logs and all, they get copied on storage, which is not even actively being monitored. So there is more risk on that. Deletion in multi-tenant SaaS. Customer data is not platform data. It is customer data. Deletion must be done properly and should propagate properly. Backups are not an exemption. Have to be maintained. Soft delete is not compliance. Very important things. Make sure that the data you have has customer data, right? So the deletion has to be done carefully. Backups have to be taken regularly, and don't consider that just a soft delete is enough for compliance. No, it is not enough for compliance. Audit trails are still required. Retention rules under DPDP. DPDP wants to make sure that your data is retained, especially if it's a privacy related or personal information. Purpose based retention, legal versus operational retention. So if you have a legal need versus your operational need, you need to define the purpose, and then with the purpose you need to define that for how long am I going to retain your personal data. Shorter life for telemetry and analytics, clear ownership of retention decisions. These are certain very important factors to be considered while defining retention. Who owns it, right? So technically DPDP says define your retention rules, create your workflows both for retention as well as now for deletion, have an access control on logs, segregate your environments, and be ready to be able to be responsibly answering if in case there is a breach. In a nutshell, architecture has a big role to play in compliance. Logs are personal data. Retention policy has to be there. Retention must end. Deletion must be provable that yes, I have deleted. DPDP is enforced through design. Okay, automatically. That's why even in privacy we call something like privacy by design. Do things as a part of your own design rather than doing them when it is already late. So that's about the logs and the retention and deletion policies for SaaS applications. We continue to talk about DPDP. Stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, share your feedback, concerns, and queries in the comment section. Thank you.